Next question is from MT Rave. How accurate are trackers such as Fitbit at measuring NEAT and calories burned?
Oh, this is a great.
I'm gonna say something controversial in response to this. They're extremely accurate, super accurate.
Compared to what?
Let's fact check that.
Well, here's why I'm gonna say that. Okay, it's people want to tear them apart on where they're inaccurate to their current metabolism, or in this person's asking about their daily NEAT. That part is irrelevant to me. What they're really good at and very accurate is consistently reporting that data based off of you. In other words, if I get it, what I don't care about. So like, let's say a client gets the Fitbit, it's their first week of wearing it for me, because I used to use it all the time like this. And they're like, hey, it says I'm burning on average 1,800 calories. I don't give a shit if it says 1,800 or 2,700 to me. That's irrelevant. What I care about is that what it's saying consistently now, and then the things that I decide to add or take away in their routine and or diet in relation to their food.
So you're looking at what you're saying, in other words, is the trend. You're watching the trend.
That's all I'm using.
Is it going up? Is it going down? That's where.
And they are insanely accurate for that.
Yes.
Like, let's say you go for a walk for 500 steps, and let's say the steps are actually off, and you really took 527 steps, and the calorie burn says it was 500 calories, but it was really 523. That doesn't matter.
It's going to measure the same each
and
time.
Every time you take those 500 steps, it's going to repeat and measure it the same way. So it's going to give you a very consistent report and feedback on your daily activity and your burn. Where people fuck up is they do it, and then they see what it says you're quote unquote burning in the day, and then they eat according.
They try to eat and match those calorie burns, which is like completely wrong. Yeah, I totally agree. I think if it does its job, which it does well, is if you're less active for that day, it'll show that in your number metrics that it's accumulating.
Yeah, it's the trend what it reminds me of body fat testing.
Yes.
Everybody freaks out. Well, I don't know. Body fat tests can be off by 4% or 3%. Well, that doesn't matter. But if you test your body fat every other week for a year, you'll see a trend. And the trend is pretty damn consistent. It's going up or it's going down. Same thing with these. So forget the total calories if that's accurate, because they're not super accurate on that, or as accurate as going to Stanford and have them hook you up to some of the most sophisticated machinery.
Well, there's an argument too. It's like the arm swing versus the actual steps, and it's just like, again, to that point, it's just that's pretty much irrelevant as long as it's like patterning your overall movement.
Yeah, because it's going to figure that out, right? So that's a great example. Like Katrina used to always be like, "It's not fair. Your Fitbit registers so much more because you talk with your hands." You know what I'm saying?
But you always talk with your hands,
right? But I always talk with
Italian,
my. I always do that, and that does burn calories. I'm not technically walking, and so it's registering incorrectly.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It'll show if you're more or less active.
That's right.
Yes.
And that's all I care about, is that it gives me a baseline of, and so the actual number that everybody gets hung up on, and then how accurate is that number to who cares? That's not how you should use it. The way you should use it is eat a certain way consistently, and just choose somewhere where you think is your maintenance level. You don't even have to be perfect, but let's say it's 2,000 calories, you don't gain or lose, that's your maintenance. So eat at 2,000 calories consistently for a week while you wear your Fitbit. If you did a good job of finding your maintenance, you shouldn't see any fluctuation of weight up or down. And then whatever that thing reads and tells you, steps and calorie burn, use that as, this is my baseline. When I eat 2,000 calories and I move this much, it maintains my body. Now, when I add this many more steps in the day or push this thing to say it burns 500 more calories, if I keep my calories the same, I should have a 500 calorie deficit now. Or if I keep my activity the same and then but reduce my calories by 500, I should now have a 500 calorie deficit. Don't get hung up on that, this thing isn't accurate. It says it.
By the way, to be very clear, 95% accuracy at measuring a metabolism. Mammalian metabolism is extremely complex.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But 95% accuracy is incredible. But that's still 5%. 5% over the course of 6 months or a year is a huge amount of calories, and it can make a huge difference. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They could be 98%. Still 2% makes a big difference over the course of a year. What's important is the trend, and the trend is consistent. And unless you drastically change the way you walk, So like you normally walk like this, and then tomorrow you're like, I'm gonna trick this and walk like this.
Listen, let
Well,
me-
yeah, now you're gonna see like.
I'm
variation.
a huge proponent of these things. So listen to me when you think that's inaccurate. You want to know what's even more inaccurate? You telling me how active you are. You telling me how much food you ate without fucking tracking. And you can tell me you think you know and you think you're really good. You know how off you are? You were so off. You
Well,
were
look at
so
that.
off on your steps. You were so off on your movement, way beyond this thing. So it's an incredible tool for feedback to get closer to having an idea of what your body probably burns.
I suspect that's probably one of the biggest factors for messing up that whole formula for figuring out your maintenance calories, right? Because people like over assume how active they are.
Yes.
And it's like it gives you like these options of like slightly active,
Dude.
very active,
If
like
you-
incredibly active. I'm incredibly active.
If you work a desk job, okay, so 8 to 10 hours a day you sit at a desk, and the only time you're active is 1 hour workout every day. 7 days a week
and
you
you
work out for
train
an
like
hour.
a maniac. You're an athlete. You train hard. 7
An
days
hour a
week.
day, 7 days a week.
You're sedentary.
But you're sedentary.
Yeah.
Because
You work
that's
at-
1 hour out of your entire
Which is
day.
crazy, but
Yeah.
it's true.
Yep.
Yeah, but that just shows you how off we are at estimating ourselves. At what
Well,
we
what it
think.
is, we compare ourselves to everyone else. Well, I work out every day and John doesn't, so I'm super active compared to him. Well, that's true.
I mean, these tools. I credit those tools that gave me the ability to compete to at that level. Like I don't know if I could have done it without that.
I think you could. I have faith in you.
Maybe now. Maybe I believe I could do it now because I've been through all of it and I learned a lot
No,
along the way.
100%, I agree.
But those tools gave me incredible feedback.
Yeah, try to get down to 3% body fat without having trends that you could follow. Like, oh my God, you're guessing. You're guessing at best.
And this is where that whole strategy of like, not really focusing on the cardio to, increase the number of like, now you can actually have this data to then pull from like, okay, I just need to be more active throughout the day. And I can do that in a way where I am affecting my body fat in a way where I'm not like just adding more cardio, which is what everybody does. They just throttle down on cardio to burn it off.